Orion Township Board of Trustees for Monday, December 15th, our last meeting of 2025. Thank you all for joining us. We did start an hour ago. We had some discussions with our attorney for the Open Meetings Act in closed session. So we are at item 3. I'll note just for everyone here that all 7 township board members are present and accounted for. Oh, we need a motion, sorry, to reconvene.
I move to reconvene from the closed session.
Support.
Supported by Pfeiffer, moved by Flood. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we're back. Even though it felt like we already were, now we officially are. Okay, next item on tonight's agenda is item 3, invocation and pledge. We always start our meeting with these 2 items. You please stand. Our invocation is going to be led by our team chaplain, Trustee Lovett. And our pledge, we have very special guests tonight, Nico and Mila, if you guys want to come up here. And you can start after the prayer, all right? Go ahead, Mr. Lovett.
Heavenly Father, in this holiday season, we thank you for the hope, peace, and joy you bring into our lives. We are grateful for our families, our community, and the blessings that surround us each day. Help us carry the spirit of this season into our actions, showing kindness, generosity, and care for those in need. We also ask for continuous generosity for those in need, that hearts would remain open and willing to serve them. May your peace rest on our township and all who call it home. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. Nico, Mila, why are you guys here tonight, do you know? Your dad. All right, let's talk about that. We take a few minutes each month to recognize our brightest and best, and this is a bittersweet one. Nico and Mila, will you grab your dad and make him go stand up there? You can stand with him. You can bring your mom too if she wants to. And Lieutenant Z, if you want to join them. I'm Lieutenant Z. He's Lieutenant Z. You're Lieutenant Weir. Will you do me a favor, Matt, when I tell you hit the space bar? All right. So we are tonight here to celebrate Sergeant, now Lieutenant Darren Zepfening. Lieutenant Weir, I'm going to give you the podium for a minute first.
So I came here about a year ago, and part of my job when I first came on board, Major Yeiser wanted me to identify future leaders. And it took a matter of less than a week of my assignment to identify then Sergeant Zenfenig as a future leader of this department. I got to know him over the past year. Everyone knows I'm not an emotional person, but this is an emotional time for me. I'm very proud of this young man for his accomplishments, not only in the past year, but looking back over the last 10 years. This gentleman has dedicated himself to Orion Township for over 10 years. And when I say dedicated, I mean that he put his heart and soul into coming to work every day and doing what we expect from the men and women who patrol our streets and serve our community. I'm very proud to be a part of that, very proud to be a person that has pushed this promotion forward, but in no means did I have anything to do with it. He did it on his own, and he should be very proud of that, because each and every day he came in, not only was his job put at the forefront, but he explained to me each and every day how important his wife and his 2 children were to him, and how important it was that they were a part of those accomplishments. And that says a lot about this gentleman right here. And again, I'm not an emotional guy, but I'm super proud of you. So congratulations. Thank you. You're doing great.
And I'm going to add a few words. We're not done yet. But as stated, I've been here 13 years. He's been here since I've been here. And this is a hard one. You never want to, you want to always see people improve. But we even talked about this, Darren. You were going to retire out of the sub. Yeah. Now you're not. Well, maybe you'll come back. But I just wanted to cover a couple things I wanted to share. Since your promotion to sergeant on October 31st, 2015, your contributions to our community have been substantial. You've seen multiple expansions, moved to new buildings, worked the 7 to 3 a.m. shift, ultimately transitioned to day shift, but literally the definition of steady and reliable leadership is Darren Z. He led us through major events, including the 2017 gas pipe explosion, GM UAW strikes in 2019 and 2021, and I just will tell you, just to see him lead through those very difficult situations was remarkable. And then the picture on your screen, I took those pictures. If you recall, in April of 21, we had a mother who was having some mental health crises who abandoned her baby in April in a creek right around the corner from here. And she was not cooperative with us. And so we were literally combing the area, and Darren found the baby in the creek. And that really interesting that if you look at the picture on the left, that mud is from the baby. He grabbed and held the baby. The baby was in a diaper, as you could see. I took those pictures. The baby survived, but and he was the first person when he won the life saving award through the sheriff's office to say that, you know, it wasn't him, it was his team, and that's just truly the definition of a great leader. And obviously his leadership through the horrible incident in Oxford. We could go on and on and on, but we're here today to celebrate you and your promotion to lieutenant, although we're a little sad. So we are honoring you, Lieutenant Darren Zeffening, for your 10 years of exceptional service in Orion, demonstrating unwavering dedication, leadership, and a lasting positive impact on public safety in our community with our December 2025 Citizen of the Month Award. Congratulations. Why don't we come up here? Even though you're going to be gone, you're going to be on the Wall of Fame. So, you want to say anything?
Not really. On the ride here, my son asked me, "Are you going to be talking?" And I said, "I hope not." I didn't prepare anything. He did give me some advice. He said, if you do talk and you say something good, nobody will be hungry. Why?
Because you're eating this up.
Because they'll eat it up. But, you know, Orion Township, the deputies that work here, it's different than everywhere else. I've been assigned. They're like a family. And this is because of the good people that work. Thank you.
You guys got to come with me down.
Morning, gang.
Yeah, you guys all come up. Please, you're here. Oh, yeah, we'll after this. Okay.
No, I got pictures. I don't see you.
No, I think we need you.
Yeah, you wanna get in there?
I like this.
I'll take pictures. I know, you're welcome.
She'll give them to you.
Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
So two more things I want to share on this before we move on. One, whoever made the point that Eileen is the boss over there, that's correct. That's Eileen. She's the boss over there at the sheriff's substation. And then I was forced under duress to add some funny pictures as well. You can't have a recognition of a cop without a picture of him eating a donut, but I think you're eating a bagel. But look how much skinny you are now, by the way. You can see he's a very touchy-feely person, and, you know, retired Lieutenant Toth there. Cool sideburns, and there were some other more compromising ones that you're welcome for using my discretion and not including them in the PowerPoint. Because although there's not a ton of people here, there are millions of people that watch our meetings from home. But let's give a round of applause one more time, as well as the men and women in the back who, I told you he was gonna give credit to other people, because that's the type of guy Darren is. So don't be a stranger. You always have a home here in Orion. We love you. And I'll just say, he's just a great friend too, so it is bittersweet. A diehard Lions fan, and man, we're mourning together today. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have one more, and be safe out there. You guys were welcome to stay, but understand if you have to go, especially you guys with school tomorrow. But thank you, Nico and Mila, for a great Pledge of Allegiance, by the way. All right, we have one more employee recognition. Oh, thank you. Tonight, and for this, I'm going to ask Trustee Flood if you'll head to the podium for us.
Long-time friends of the family I haven't seen probably in 40, 50 years right there. Well, you're having a good time out there. Honorable Board of Trustees, elected officials, our awesome township staff and employees, and paid consultants, as well as distinguished guests and the public in attendance this evening. I have the honor and privilege to stand before you this evening and recognize one of our most deserving, dedicated township employees who works tirelessly to serve our beloved Orion community. I'm speaking of no other than Tammy Gerling, our Orion Township Planning and Zoning Director. If Tammy would be so gracious to come down and join me here at the podium. Hi, Tammy. Did I surprise you?
Yes, you did.
Well, this is great, because this has been in the works for a month. I'd like to start out presentation by providing Tammy's tenure serving our community. In a few short days, Tammy will have served a whole generation. I won't say the years, generation. I said, you must have been a teenager when you started here.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. All right.
This place does not age me at all.
Tammy first hired in as an office coordinator for Park and Rec. See, Aaron, you missed out on having her. Back on December 20, 2025, and she held that position until November 2006. And her following resume and continuing education is quite extensive and impressive. Assessing clerk, November of 06 to December 07. Appraiser aide, December 07 to December 08. Appraiser 1, December 2008 to June 2009. You didn't like to stay in one place very much, did you?
No.
Assessor 2, June 2009 to October of 2009. Then she became the Planning Commission ZBA coordinator on October of 09 to June of 2013. Then she became zoning planning administrator on June 18th, 2013 till December 31st, 2015. Then this township board at that time made the smartest decision they ever made since I've been on the board. She started her current position as the planning and zoning director on January 1st, 2016, when the Board of Trustees spun off the planning and zoning department from the building department as a separate department with their current excellent staff. My personal professional working relationship with Tammy was when I was appointed to the ZBA as the board representative back in 2013. I've been on that thing for 12 years. Chris, you got to get somebody else on there. Tammy always calls me Mr. Flood. Laugh at that one.
I always say I don't mean any respect.
All these years I've kept telling her my name is Mike. Just like throughout the years, I have my favorite name I call Tammy, Mame. Why Mame, you ask? Mame Rouge served the township for nearly 26 years. from October 71 to her retirement in June of 1997. Mame was the planning and zoning administrator. Throughout those years, Mame was the planning and zoning, as well, she ran the building department. That was Mame. I call Tammy Mame as a show of respect and the highest honor I can bestow upon Tammy. I know she knows it's my way of respecting her and appreciating all the hard work and effort she and her excellent staff serve our Orion residents. Throughout the years, while the Planning and Zoning Department researches township documents, Mame's name is found on 26 years of documents. At this time, I'd like to present you with a little-known facts about Mrs. Mame Roosh. Mame broke in and educated numerous township building officials, Dale Anderson, and retired Orion Township Building Department Director, Tom Berger, just to name a few. Mame started working for the township back in 1971 at the original Township Hall that was located on M24, Lapeer Road on the east side, immediately south of the Ello Village Township border. The original Quonset hut-style Township Hall building, cement block foundation, still exists today and is currently located on the Jacobson's nursery property, serving as a present-day greenhouse. It's directly across the street from Starbucks. The first greenhouse you see there, that's still the foundation for the old Township Hall. Mame was born and raised right here in Orion. In fact, both her and her brother were born and raised right across the street here from where we are standing right now currently. Now known today as Canterbury Village, originally it was Wildwood Farm, the Scripps Estate. Small world. Mame and her parents lived in the first house on the north of what was then Joslin Road, now known as Joslin Court, immediately behind St. Mary's Church. It's the first building right directly behind Yates Cider Mill. Mame's father was a supervisor of Wildwood Farms, as well in charge of all the caretakers of all of Mr. William E. Scripps' vast estate property, consisting of 3,600 acres that stretched from Lapeer Road on the east to Walden Road on the west, Walden Road on the south to Clarkston Road to the north, which includes the two private lakes, Forey's Lake and Lake 16. Mame was married to Joe Roosh and has two lovely daughters, Sherry and Kathy. The family home is located on Pasadena, off of Baldwin in Gingiville. Mame and my mother were long-life friends. Today, you would be known as BFFs. It is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome and recognize both of Mame's lovely daughters and present here this evening. Would Sherry and Kathy be so kind to come down to the podium to stand here beside myself and Tammy and assist in presenting unto Tammy this beautiful titled and framed photo of their beloved mother to be displayed in Tammy's office at Orion Township Hall. If we can get Sam or somebody to take a photo here.
Yeah,
I want you,
come up here, Mike, because we always like to get the board in there too,
and I want the ladies,
the logo. First of all. Yeah. Thank you. Did he get you, Tammy? Oh my God. I got a video of your reaction.
Hold on, Lynn, are you, come back. She's trying to get one too.
Look at Lynn.
Let's
Look
do
at
it
Lynn.
again, here we go.
Look at Lynn.
absolutely. We're not done yet. We got a little more here yet. For years, I've been telling Tammy I would get her a picture of Mame. Well, you got it tonight.
I got it, I love it.
Yep. In closing, I want to recognize and give credit to a couple of Orion, Lake Orion, awesome local businesses who put together this beautiful picture. First, Tom, owner of Village Trophy Shop, located on Lapeer Road. He's in the lower level of the veterinarian up there next to St. Joe's. He did the engraving. And then Diana and Cindy of Accent on Art. on downtown Lake Orion on Broadway, right next door to the Wine Social. Thank you for your excellent professional craftsmanship, and most appreciated. And Tammy, thank you, hon. My pleasure.
Speech. You don't have to, but that's why it's, you know, she was like, do I need to be here? I'm like, yeah, not really, but don't not come. And thank you for you guys to be here. That's remarkable. And it's really neat to hear the whole history, because Mr. Flood has been speaking so highly about your mother ever since I've known him. And so that's such an honor to give to Tammy, because we know how highly you esteem Mame. So
Thank you, Chris.
thank you. And that was all, Mike was all about that. So, Mr. Flood. All right.
Thanks, babe.
We move on. It's always the hardest transition in board world, is going from that to paying our bills, but that's what the show must go on. Thank you for being here tonight, folks. Tonight, you have the board run in front of you. I'd entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the board's bills and payroll as presented for $2,281,540.90.
Support.
Okay, moved by Carson and supported by Clerk Dalrymple. Any discussion? Any public comment on the board run? Let's do a roll call vote, please.
Flip my page too fast. Carson.
Yes.
Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Ogendorf.
Yes.
Barnett.
Yes.
Lovett.
Yes.
Flood.
Yes.
Dalrymple, yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Next on tonight's agenda is public comment opportunity this is your first opportunity to address the board on non-agenda items. If you hear about something that's on our agenda, ask you to hold your comment till we get to that point in the meeting. State your name and address and keep your comments to about 3 minutes, please. Anyone want to give public comment at this time? Seeing no one rush forward, we'll give you a chance later. And I'll move to approval of tonight's agenda. It's on the screen. I don't have any proposed changes except to note that item 9Q was added today. We had hoped to do that tonight, but we had a little publishing mishap, so we will do that on Thursday this week at 9 a.m. here in this boardroom. Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda, or any changes that anyone wants to make?
Mr. Supervisor, I'll move to approve the agenda as amended.
Support.
Give that one to Lovett. Moved by Mr. Flood, supported by Mr. Lovett. Comments or questions? Board, public, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? That's our plan for the evening. Brings us to tonight's consent agenda. We will be voting for all these items with one vote. So if you're here and you want to talk about any of these items, please come to the podium now. I'll read them for the folks that watch at home, the millions of them, as we say. We'll be doing some year-end things, and I'll talk a little bit about those in a moment, but we'll be approving minutes from our December 1st meeting, approving 2 public hearing minutes for our community development block grant application, and our budget public hearing, which we will be adopting our budget on item 10A, approving our non-union salaries that we need to do every year, approving the update to the township organizational chart, accepting a grant from Canadian National Rail, Eco Connections, and America in Bloom, accepting an Environmental Resources Committee resignation, approving all the committee appointments for 2026, tuition reimbursement request, receiving and filing the classification and compensation study, approving the fire department IROL service agreement. We'll let the chief say something about that if he'd like. Approving the contract amendment to the solid waste, yard waste, and recycling collection contract, approving our trade inspector contracts as we do every year, updating our FOIA fees, approving the Huron-Clinton Metro Parks Winter Swim Lesson Program, approving the agreement for MOD, development agreement, that's a development coming to town, and then scheduling the public hearing for that same development for this Thursday at 9 a.m. in this room. There's a lot on there, but a lot of year-end stuff. Is there a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
Mr. Supervisor, I move to approve the consent agenda as it was amended.
Support.
Okay. First, a couple comments from me, and then I'll open it up to the board. Congratulations to our team on another grant. Page 125 in your board pack, you'll see we are receiving a $25,000 grant from America in Bloom and CN Railways for our project that we are calling Historic Heritage Landscape Revitalization Project. And this is out at Friendship Park. And this is going to be activating the Howard School, Port Barn, and the wedding gazebo with lots of landscaping. It's a $50,000 project, $25,000 of which will come from CN and AIB. So this is great news. And then I wanted to say thank you to Tom Fisher, who's been a long-standing volunteer in our community who's stepping down from the Environmental Resource Committee. And I also want to say thank you to Jim Cummins, who is been a longtime Planning Commission member, who is retiring from his service on the Planning Commission. On the screen, it will be hard for you to see at home and maybe even here. I just want to take a moment to thank the folks, and then our replacement for Mr. Jim Cummings is here tonight, Doug Jones. But I want to just hold this on the screen because these folks, most of them, they work for either free or almost free, volunteering and serving in our community. And we love when people get involved, and this is the best place to do that. If you're interested, you can go on our website, fill out a form showing your interest, but you can see the committees: Parks and Pass, Environmental Resource Committee, Construction Board of Appeals, Corridor Improvement Authority, Board of Review, Zoning Board of Appeals, and Planning Commission. So, thank you to our amazing volunteers. Assuming this vote goes in the affirmative, welcome to Mr. Doug Jones, who's a local resident and business owner in our community. Thank you for your willingness to serve. And I just want to give one more thanks to Tom Fisher and Jim Cummins for their volunteerism over the past in our community. That's all I wanted to really mention. I'll mention a little bit about the MOD agreement at the end here. Mr. Flood.
Yeah, on the solid waste yard, lose my voice. Yard waste and recycling collection, that's nothing to do with the residential collection. It's all to do with the township facilities and buildings on our dumpsters. And I just want to clear that up if anybody wanted to know what that amendment was into that contract.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Carrie. Yes. Oh.
I'm done.
Okay, yeah, I just had a few comments. I also want to say thank you to Tom Fisher for his years of service on the Environmental Resource Committee. I only worked with him for a year, but he was incredibly knowledgeable, and had quite some insight on the committee. He's still serving on the Parks and Paths Advisory Committee, so we're not looking yet. And then also just to address, I know where there was some chatter, there's not really many people here, but I know there's people at home, regarding the pays for next year, so I just wanted to provide some insight, at least from me. I know there's 7 people up here. I know it's no secret that I'm a numbers person, so I just wanted to kind of explain kind of my reasonable, range, so to speak, for the portions that were in question in the community. As mentioned, there was a classification and compensation study that was done. I'll just call it a job study. And almost everybody in the township as an employee was included with it. Unfortunately, the electeds were not part of it, but it's still reasonable to kind of do a look at them to see, should their pay kind of be reset to in a similar manner as the other employees. So first, what I did, and this is just looking strictly objectively at the numbers, I looked at the increases that are shown on the sheet here for the directors compared to last year's pay, and I applied that same percentage to the 3 electeds. So if we do that for a supervisor, apply that average increase, you'd get a pay of $145,730. The pay that's presented is lower than that, so I think that's a reasonable amount. The same thing for the clerk and the treasurer. Initially got a pay of $97,373. If we use the max increase from the directors, get it close to $99,000. So I did a little more digging. Ideally, I wanted to find some information from the Michigan Township Association. They have a compensation study on there. Looked at that, but it became clear pretty quickly that the data couldn't be relied upon because I think there were only 3 townships that had responded that were in our population range. And looking at the supervisor salary, it listed as something less than $30,000, which is not reasonable at all. So I was not going to use that information for looking at clerk or treasurer info. And there's fortunately no central information for treasurers, so I just looked at some information that was available for clerks, since we set the clerk and the treasurer pay equal to each other. There's a Michigan Association of Municipal Clerks compensation survey on their website from 2024, and it has a boatload of information, anything you can think of to possibly sort and filter on there. And so I filtered it based on clerk position only. Look at population between 20 to 40,000 and 40 to 80,000, so we're right in the middle. And was able to get a similar average pay back in 2024 of about 93,500. Project that forward a couple of years to the 2026 we're talking about, and get about 100,000. The separate analysis based on the job study that was referenced, there's a list of 20 comp communities on page 7 of the study. But not all of them participated in that municipal clerk study. So took the information from those that did and excluded one that was listed a part-time pay. So we have 9 municipalities, and the average back in 2024 is that same 93,500 figure. Project that forward, 100,000. It was the final piece. Our HR director, Anna Calloway, thank you for your work on this. She was able to find information, actual 2025 salaries for 7 of those townships that were on the list. So using that info, 5 of them were on that clerk study, and so was able to figure out between 2024 and 2025, the average increase was 8.7%. Applied that to the others that were on the study, and so you can get a average pay of about $101,800 in 2025. But then some of those municipalities or cities, which the clerk positions have different responsibilities, remove those, you get to $103,700. And then there were 2 more municipalities, Plymouth Township and White Lake Township, that were added that were not part of the study, or not part of the clerk study. You can get up to $106,000, 2025. Check that forward to 2026, you get $110,000, but keep in mind that this was for people with average service of a little under 7 years. So to kind of back that down a little bit, it'd be about $105,000. So in summary, apologies for all the numbers. But, so I figure a reasonable range is between, for the 2026 salary, is between $99,000 and $105,000. Well, ideally, I'd like to see like halfway, since the 105 that is proposed is within what I personally feel is a reasonable range. I am comfortable with the presented amount. Just wanted to give that commentary since I know there were questions about it.
Thank you, and it's nice to have an actuary on your board with numbers. Any other comments from board members? Ms. Dalrymple.
Just to bring the FOIA fees to your attention, it was found that because the FOIA language says that the contracted labor costs will be charged at the hourly rate of 6 times the state minimum hourly wage, that changes, and it is about to change again. So we found in our notes that that was an old amount from 2019, so we need to just get that updated. The language will now state, instead of having a number like it does now, it states that it will just say the hourly rate at 6 times the minimum wage. So no matter how that number fluctuates, we will not need to edit these documents anymore. And then in the packet, there's the 2 places where that is noted, which will be, they're currently redlined, and they will be put out there in the public summary and then in the procedures as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got some comments.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to also thank Jim Cummins for his service. He's my neighbor on the board, but welcome to our newly appointed, hopefully, when this gets passed. So, I appreciate you stepping up and being willing to help, because it's pretty thankless, but we really appreciate it. And Tammy's a great resource, and to get you up to speed, and I look forward to working with you. And then to kind of echo some of the same points that trustee Hogendorf made, I also looked at a lot of the same studies that she did. We came up with surprisingly very similar ranges. I am not as much of a numbers person, so I was a little bit proud of myself for that. But, yeah, I'm comfortable with the presented, and I appreciate everybody taking time and meeting with me with all my questions on this. So, that's all I got for you.
Thank you. Mr. Pfeiffer.
Super brief, just wanted to thank Doug Jones for stepping up. I've known you for quite a while. I'm excited to have you join the board and the planning commission and to help continue to create great customer service for our residents. So I think you're going to be a great addition, and thank you for answering the call. I wasn't sure when I knocked on your door, but I'm glad that you're going to join us. Thank you.
Awesome. Anyone else? I just want to say a couple things. I'm really proud of the work our team has done. This is our most, I said this earlier, this is the meeting that we all get elected for. We have lots of responsibilities as electeds, but the most important responsibility is managing the funds and setting the priorities, and we're going to be adopting our budget here in just a few minutes. A lot of time and effort went into the compensation job study, we'll call it. And we want to be a place that attracts and retains talent. And so thank you to the board for all your work. I will tell, just as speaking to the public, I know we don't have a lot of people here, but it is the most important part of our job, the 7 of us. And we have a really active board that does their homework, that works really hard to make tough decisions. We don't necessarily always agree, but I think that just the thoughtfulness and the fact that every single person up here comes in, meets one-on-one with directors. You hear a little more about this when we get into the budget approval. But they're doing their work, they're working really hard. And I will say this, I've been saying this for 13 years, if you want to join us up here, there's a way to do that. Sometimes the attacks get frustrating, but I understand that comes with the job also. But thank you to everyone for your work on this. And last but not least, I want to just call your attention to the, it's called MOD agreement. The applicant is here tonight. I don't think he probably wants to speak, but this is I want to thank the developer and also the township legal team. This is a great deal for the township because we are placing something that has to be within close proximity to the General Motors assembly plant on a parcel that will have the least impact to our community, hopefully for decades to come, but at least for the next 8. And there's been a lot of back and forth and work on this. And the good news is, just a high level, we're keeping thousands of cars, trucks off our surface streets every single day once that plant opens in Q1 of '27. But also, this developer is making a $1 million contribution to the township, which will cover the local match to rebuild Silverbell Road between Joslin and Giddings. So thank you, and thank you to everyone that's been involved in this. It has not been easy, working together with GM and CN and a third-party developer and all the groups, but this is truly a collaborative effort, and really grateful to see us at the finish line.
Just I got one more comment.
That's it from me. Go ahead, Jack, and then we're voting. If anybody wants to speak, please come forward now. Jack, go ahead.
Chris, you don't take enough credit for this type of stuff. This is a very impressive undertaking between all parties involved for a massive project to get the turnaround time that it did is incredible. And like Chris said, the saving of the traffic, because obviously that's a huge concern in our community. But this is unbelievable what we have before us. So that's all.
Thank you. Any public comment on any of those items, A through Q? No one running forward. Let's do a roll call, please. Ms. Dalrymple.
Love it.
Yes.
Hogendorf.
Yes.
Flood.
Yes.
Pfeiffer.
Yes?
Dalrymple, yes. Barnett.
Yes.
Carson.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations. And welcome. The work begins. Tammy, get your claws into Doug. I'm kidding.
Yeah, do you have time after?
Let's be nice first.
I'm teasing. All right, that brings us to pending business. We have 3 items tonight. I'm just looking, I forgot to remove a report, 11C when we approve the agenda, but we'll do that when we get there. 10A, the thing we've been working on and waiting, all since summer, page 250 in your book, it's our 2026 budget. I want to, I'll give the floor to Mr. Flood. I see his hand up.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to approve the resolution to establish and define the adoption of a budget, levy millage, and make appropriations for the fiscal year 2026, thereby adopting the 2026 budget as presented.
Support.
Moved by Flood and supported by Carson.
With a comment.
Go ahead with your comment.
I want to say how much a pleasure it was. This is my 15th budget sitting on this board. And I'm really, really pleased with our new board members and the efforts they put in and the tough questions. We had some tough discussions to talk about. And I'm very pleased in all the hard work they did bringing this budget forward. That's my comment.
Thank you. Any other board comments? I just want to, oh, sorry, Carrie.
I just want to thank all the directors and also to Ashley Coyle, our budget and procurement director. This is her wheelhouse, so it's quite a chore, I can imagine, over the past several months to work on this. And I also just want to say to, the public, each year when we do this, there's usually at least one, sometimes 2 budget workshops. For this one, I think nobody came to the first one, and there were 2 people at the second one, and there were 2 people at the budget hearing. So I would encourage the public to come out and be involved with it.
Matt?
It's a huge process, and it's a ton of information, and being relatively new, and especially this type of budget, very different than what I'm used to in my business. I am so thankful that we have the team that we have. The team continues to exceed, I think, expectations, and Ashley, thank you so much for your work and guidance on this. I know I've driven you crazy with questions, and you are really, really helpful. But all the directors, everybody that, when there's questions, everybody jumps up and works together to make sure those questions are answered. So we are very, very fortunate to have the team we have, and I'm glad that we're almost to the end of this process.
Anyone else? Do you want to say anything, Ashley? It's your Super Bowl, so I'll give you a chance.
No, I don't have anything really to say. I'm happy it's the last meeting of the year. Just basically echoing everything the board said, I think we have a really great team here. It's nice that all of the directors are so inundated in their own budgets, so that makes my job a heck of a lot easier. And then this year, as again was mentioned, the board has been very, very, very active. So it's been nice getting to work with everybody one-on-one to discuss a lot of our future initiatives. So we are planning to finish this year much better than anticipated, and we're adopting a healthy budget next year and projecting healthy in the future years.
Echo everything that's been said. First of all, is there any public comment on the budget? No? I just want to say thank you to all the team, all the directors are here tonight. The process doesn't just start in December, it really starts in the spring with priorities and capital improvement planning. We're working on a project next year to make our budget a lot even more easy to understand than the 86-page, 8-point font, front and back Excel spreadsheets that are every single space, because this is what it looks like printed out. But this board is responsible for tens of millions of dollars. And the one thing I'm really darn proud of is, I've been here 13 years. Every year we've finished ahead of budget, and we did that again this year, so we're going into a new year. But we do a really good job of budgeting our revenue conservatively and budgeting our expenses conservatively, meaning revenue lower, And generally, the revenue comes in higher, and we generally are careful with our expenditures, so we don't have to come back to the board throughout the year. And we do occasionally, as you are aware at our last meeting. But we get high marks. And again, to the public, there's not a lot of people here tonight. We welcome you into the process. We started in October usually. But we are in a really good financial shape and able to do things like what we're going to talk about in item 10C in a few minutes, and able to do things, and you can't really see it really good on the screen, but you can see our fund balance was around $7 million in '23, and then it took a dip, our general fund I'm speaking of, because we manage a lot of different funds, general, police, fire, all the special water, all the special funds, Parks and Rec. But we took a dip down to 3 and then 2.6, and now we're building back, and at the end of this year, we'll be over 4 million again. So we could buy the athletic club now, the Orion Recreation Center. So this board historically has done a great job, and I've said it recently, kind of in smaller groups, but I'll say it publicly for those that watch in the meeting, is that in my 13 years, this is the most engaged board that I've worked with, and that's a good thing for the members of the public. They ask a lot of questions. They have lots of meetings with directors one-on-one. We encourage that. They have full access to our team. But this is our Super Bowl. This is what you hire us to do. And we are on track to finish the year much better than we projected, and then jump into 26 on a great momentum swing. So thank you. A little bit wordy there, but it's worth it because this is what you hire us to do. Your investments are good with us. With that, I'd entertain a roll call vote to approve the resolution adopting the 2026 budget.
Barnett.
Yes.
Dalrymple, yes. Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Flood.
Yes.
Carson.
Yes.
Lovett.
Yes.
Hogendorf.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. And we will start again in a couple months, friends. Thank you again, Ashley, and everyone, all the directors that are here tonight. Next item, second reading of the method of publication ordinance amendment. This is page 271. I'll turn this over to our clerk.
This is just the second reading for the ordinance 108, which is the method of publication. It does just clean up some addresses and names of buildings on the back side of the section. You can see that. We did get a couple phone calls in the office. This does not replace us using the Orion Review or our own website. This is just an extra piece that goes along with that. Like we said, we've been looking at different things in the office and what can we clean up, what can we update, and this was one of the ones on our team's list. So that is the information in front of you tonight.
Is there a motion to declare the second reading held?
Move to approve the second reading and adopt the amendments to ordinance 108, method of publication.
Support.
Nobody wanted to make the motion, but we give the motion to Carrie and the support to Johnny. All right, any, great summary. Thank you, Clerk Dalrymple. Any comments or questions from board? Public comment? It's all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously, and that's why we didn't have to do the roll call vote on that resolution, second reading. We learned that in class last Thursday from our attorney. Next item, item C. This is approving a purchase agreement with Lake Orion Community Schools, page 274. This item's in front of us tonight to approve the purchase agreement of Pine Tree Elementary, or 590 Pine Tree. The Sidwell is there. We intend to purchase approximately 11.4 acres, including the 56,000 square foot former school building. The school board was going to approve the purchase agreement. We've been working with their attorney and our attorney, Mr. Kelly and Ms. Ellis. We have come to terms on the agreement. Purchase price set at $200,000. The school board was going to approve this last Wednesday at their meeting. They had a snow day, so their meeting is rescheduled till tomorrow. So they will be approving the same purchase agreement, or it will be in front of them at least tomorrow for their approval. I'll give you my comments on this in a minute. First, I'm looking for a motion.
Mr. Supervisor, I am excited to read this motion. I move to approve the purchase agreement for 590 Pine Tree Road in the amount of $200,000 and authorize the supervisor to execute the same and to take all other actions reasonably necessary to effectuate the purchase of 590 Pine Tree Road and execute any additional documents necessary to close on the property.
Julia.
Moved by Pfeiffer and supported by, give it to Clerk Dalrymple. Just comments from me. I want to thank the school superintendent and the school board. This is another one of those projects. It's fun to see kind of get to the finish line, but when, we're really excited to do the best we can to maintain as much green space in our community. And there's no question that that would have been a great place to build a new neighborhood. And again, the board is positioned to do this. And just to be clear to the public, it does seem like a great price, and it is a great price, and we're grateful for the partnership, but there are other expenses that come with purchasing the property. We don't plan on keeping the entire building there. The things we're studying are we'll have a due diligence period with this purchase agreement. If it's approved, we won't be closing immediately. But we'll be studying completely demoing the buildings and just keeping it, the infrastructure, the parking and the driveway and the park amenities that are there. The second option would be to selectively demo the majority of the building and keep the gym, which was built in the early 2000s. So we'll be studying and presenting a business case to the board in the later winter, early spring for consideration. And we have budgeted some funds to do some of these things. So exciting stuff. And that's my comments, Mr. Flood.
I have a couple questions for our attorney. Going through all the purchase agreement, I just want to make sure, clarify that I read this right. There are no deed restrictions on this property.
Not to our knowledge, but we will have a title search.
Exactly, that's what I was sure, no deed restrictions. And also, I see in the agreement that for 10 years, we couldn't sell the property to a third party, and if we did, they'd have to split the money 50-50 minus the $200,000 that we're giving the school district.
Yeah, basically, yeah. There's a disincentive for us to sell.
Exactly.
It's the,
I don't want to see on a deed restriction, I don't want to see a future township boards, we don't have any deed restrictions anymore, our parks and stuff, to be hamstringed for something like that.
Yeah, that's true. It expires after 10 years.
Thank you.
Mr. Pfeiffer.
We do a lot of, I think a lot of important things as a board, and this one was not a difficult decision for me, and I know it's a lot of money, it's always a lot of money, and it's a lot of responsibility, but when you look at the alternative to what was proposed and what was being looked at for this facility, or for this property, this is an absolute no-brainer and win for the community, and thank goodness the community, this has been talked about for a while. We've had a lot of great feedback. I've had a lot of people come up to me, very thankful and very, very little negative, which is unusual in our role. But this is a win. This is a win for the community. It's a win for the schools. This would have been upwards of 30 homes, depending on which developer would have grabbed it, and believe me, they wanted it. But this is an opportunity for this community to show where our values are, which are balancing recreation with a great place to live. So thank you to this board for being brave enough and bold enough to make big decisions.
I just want to say real quick that was, I attended Pine Tree as a kid. It was my first school here in Lake Orion. I was there from first grade to fifth grade. I will be sad to see the school torn down, but it's nice to know that the playground and the property will be a park for the foreseeable future. Congratulations on that.
All right.
Carrie?
Ms. Hogendorf, yes.
So before this opportunity was presented to us, I was thinking, I was almost dreading, because I knew that it was just going to have to be sold to a developer. And eventually, at some point, it would come before us for possible rezoning, or if not, approving a development. So when this opportunity came to us, I was so happy that we had this opportunity to save it for township residents and for community use. I mean, I've only been on the board for a year, but even back before that time, for the over 20 years that I've been in the township, I've always admired each board's commitment to Parks and Rec and to preserving what they can. I think probably the biggest moment was a decade ago for when Camp Agawam was purchased, because that would have been a bunch of houses too. While this isn't quite, Camp Agawam, this is another opportunity to save something for the community. So,
Awesome. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all kind of ran on the general concept of protecting green space. And this is a huge action towards that goal. I mean, it's not often we get a 11-acre parcel in a prime location, and we're able to obtain it and put more green space, which is phenomenal. So, yeah, I'm really excited about this, as well as Matt. This was a kind of a no-brainer, so.
All right. Ditto, 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 ditto. I agree. And again, just thanks to the school board, I think if anyone's keeping score at home, they could have, current zoning, 33 homes could have gone there without any additional density. Plus or minus 1 or 2, depending on how roads went in and stuff. So hopefully the community sees this as a win. I know you're hearing from all of us that we sure do. So thank you to everyone's work on this. And if you're really interested, you can come to the school board meeting tomorrow night and cheer them on. And then we'll be in the due diligence process, and we would close sometime in near the end of first quarter of 26. Are you pushing one more year? All right, let's do a roll call on this one just for fun.
Carson.
Yes.
Pfeiffer.
Heck, yeah.
Hookendorf.
yes.
Barnett.
Yes,
Lovett.
Yes.
Flood.
Yes.
Dalrymple, yes.
unanimous. Great work, everyone. Yeah. New park, more parks. We love parks. I said it on November 12th at our Parks in Progress event, but there's no community in our entire state our size that's put more investment in parks than Orion Township in the last 15 years. Prove me wrong. The millions of people watching. They won't be able to. All right. Next item, we have 5 reports. We do not have, I'm sorry, we're on reports. We do not have item 11C, as the majority of our youth council is ill that time of year, so they are not here. So I meant to remove that. We approved the agenda, but we will skip that. First is our police and fire report. All this data is available on our website, on our board pack, if you're interested in seeing this from home. But we do this every meeting. It's the major calls of police and fire and the percentage of breakdown of the calls. Is there a motion to approve the police and fire?
I'll make a motion to receive and file.
Lovett and Carson.
I have one comment.
Go ahead with your comment.
Sorry, I have one comment. I've seen a lot of counterfeit
Yeah.
Say that.
on these reports. Any advice? Is the pen the best method?
So I think a lot of this can be combated with just all your training. You know, when you talk about the clerks at our local stores, if they would just follow their training and mark the bills to see if, is this counterfeit? Typically, it's just by touch. You don't even have to use the pen. They're that bad. But even just today, there was an individual in Oxford who turned in a bundle of counterfeit funds that he found on the side of the road. So they're out there. There have been several suspects that have been identified and detained, but it continues to happen. So just be diligent and pay attention. They're not coming from the banks, right? These are being produced and handed at local party stores and convenience stores, fast food establishments. So typically, if they just follow the training, we'd be able to combat most of these.
And to be clear, we, at the Treasury's Department, do follow the training, and we've reiterated that of late, just to make sure, but they follow it diligently to make sure that every bill that comes in is legit.
One thing, when you look at a lot of these bills, they're for movies only. It says right on them. So, motion picture movies only. So if maybe if we just took an extra second or two and.
Yeah, and the other concerning thing is just if you're out there, I mean, every week we are getting people in our community defrauded, sometimes out of tens of thousands of dollars, and it's heartbreaking to see the reports. But it's a lot of just using common sense, asking people, but, I mean, they've targeted us as well. We get hack attempts often, almost sometimes weekly. So, if you have, when in doubt, if you're a resident listening, it doesn't hurt to tell Chase Bank you need to call them back and call our non-emergency number, because they probably have heard of the scam and can save you a lot of heartache. And guess what? It's not Chase Bank that's calling you, asking you to verify your social security number and your account number and all those other things. Randomly calling you.
Just one last thing. Supervisor Barnett's been really good about getting it out in the communities about locking your vehicle in your driveways, right? And don't leave valuables in your car. We're seeing more and more of the fraud and less of the larcenies from auto. So we'll start putting that out a little more often. I know the sheriff's been putting out his media posts on fraud and the uptick in fraud and how to combat it, so.
Thank you. All right, it was moved and supported. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Brings us to item B, our planning and zoning report for November 2025. Thank you to planning and zoning team. Entertain a motion to receive and file.
Move to receive and file the planning and zoning report.
Moved by Hilgendorf, supported by Dalrymple. Any comments or questions? Mr. Flood.
I want to thank Mame and her great staff. Keep up the good work and looking forward to next year. Thank you.
Again, I won't belabor all this, but it's on our website for your interest, if you're interested. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Next is our no-has report. Mr. Flood, I'm going to turn this to you.
Oh, no,
Actually me.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Okay. You're good. So we wanted to give just some general information on no-has and the program that runs. So if you're not familiar with it, there's a lot of really good information in here. So you can see basic information like the average weight per car of how much people are bringing. It says 64% of participants in 2025 brought at least a computer or some kind of electronic waste, which is exactly what we want them to do because we don't want that to just land up in the landfill. You scroll down a little bit for me. Keep going. Then, you updated. Then if you look at this, then it is that it will tell you. Thank you, and the new one, it did it. Then if you look at us on the chart, you can see that we had 821 participants, which is about 20.5% of the total participation. 27% were the first timers, which is exactly what we're looking for to make people aware of that this event is happening. And then, like we said, 66% of our residents responded to bringing some sort of computer or electronic waste. And if you scroll down a little more, you can see all the other things that are brought to the no-has event. So everything from latex paint to antifreeze, fire extinguishers are also on the list, lithium batteries. There's really anything you can think of. They keep track of all of this. Expired medicines is also on the list. So if you can't get it to the sheriff's substation or any of the other places that will take your old expired medicines, then you can take it there too. So the only other thing that I wanted to show you too is if you open the next file, which is an Excel file. At this is all great reading, but if you go back out of the document, there's one last attachment to it that has all of our.
When I do it, I scroll down. This?
Oh, yes. I gotta fix that when you download that. So if you look at that, then you can see all of our very specific Orion residents that are on here. So you can see what it costs us for the program. You can see the total number of population, our total participants over the 4 events that were held this year. So looking ahead into the next meeting, we'll have a resolution to come through to say, what does the program look like for 2026? But we wanted to give the report. The other thing that didn't scan in there that we have is from the Environmental Resources Committee. They had a great handout that's a double-sided document that says, where can I recycle your Christmas tree and all these other items? So I'll get that electronically, and we will add that to the website, so then the chatbot can find it, because we figured out that the chatbot can't search a picture. So if you take the original file, it will be able to scan it and read it, so we wanted to make sure it was extra user-friendly. So thank you to the Environmental Resources Committee and Carrie, who passed that along to me from her meeting, to be able to have that information available.
One question we do receive from our residents, it used to be completely free to residents to participate. We have been using a copay the last 2 years. And there's some people that were upset about that, but you can see it's still costing us, it's a great expense of the township. Good news that literally hundreds of thousands of pounds of bad stuff is not going to the landfill. But it is a costly program, and the cost keeps going up every year. And the board does discuss if we're gonna use a copay or not. The one thing we have been trying to educate folks on is, it's per vehicle. So you can be friends with your neighbors, and the cool thing, it saves you a trip too. This year, you can be the hero from the neighborhood that brings everybody's old paint to the no-haz and pay your $15 copay, and then you're off the hook for a couple of years maybe. So just maybe a good creative way to do that. And that's a third party. It's not the township that administers it, it's the county, and it goes out for bid. So we don't have a lot of control over the pricing of the program, but we have great participation from our community, as you saw on that chart earlier. Good job, Orion. Anything else? Thank you for the report. Has not been moved or supported. Would someone like to move it?
Motion to receive and file the no-haz report.
Support.
Pfeiffer and Hilgendorf, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? 7-0. All right, the next report, 2 more here. Building Department year-end report from our building official, Mr. Dave Goodlow, who's here tonight. And I will let Dave, you want to talk through this a little bit?
Yeah, I just tried to provide a high level of what we do in the building department. And as I was compiling this data, it really stands out, the amount of work that our team does. And the amount of contacts, this was a really big thing that I was looking at. When you have 15,000 calls annually, 5,000 inspections, the amount of contact that we have, our team has with the residents really stood out to me. And the amount of complaints and issues I get is minimal comparative to that. We are code enforcement. So as Chris always says, well, you don't have a choice where you get your building permit. You have to come to us, and we do it in the manner we give the white glove treatment, as Chris likes. I like how I got some trends. I really got a lot of measurables that I can, when I do our initiatives for the next year, I can measure to make sure that we're meeting some of the goals that we outline in this. We got a brief snapshot of the rental ordinance and what we're dealing with, and with the violations and whatnot, we can see that we can educate more on some of these things. Obviously, 1 in 4 failed at this point. That's only out of a small issue of it, but 1 in 4, that's a small sample size, but we're going to move forward. I hope there was a lot of information that you guys seen in there that helps you see what we're doing. You can see all the work that Tammy Gerling and the Planning and Zoning does with all the projects that are coming in, because they're going to start hitting us here as well. So a lot of things high level in this. If you have any questions, my office is always open. Our budget looks good. I'm really proud of our team. Like I said, for the amount of people's homes that our team goes in, we don't get a lot of complaints. And when we do, they're minimal, and usually they're not our inspector's fault. It's basically the processes that we deal with. So if you have ever, want to sit down and talk about some of the initiatives and what we were moving, code enforcement obviously is part of ours. I was able to get some trends in there so we can get some educational materials out early that we could follow it up. Citizen complaints, always the number one thing. So what can we do for that? We can educate, right? We're always going to get some complaints, and especially seasonal. I was able to put something together for that, which really helps me see our trends and whatnot. There was an uptick in rentals at the end, which that's because we did start enforcing rentals. We are making sure that we're getting full compliance. Dave Curry did a great job. Our fleet is state-of-the-art. This is their office every day. I think it's very important for them to have the tools to be successful. And it provides service because they can look up everything in their the cars or trucks, and we have instant communication with radios as well. So budget summary, our budget's pretty solid. I always like Chris said earlier, revenue's lower and expenditures higher. That way, when we're fiscally conservative and when we make our expenditures throughout the year. And then modernization, AI integration is going to be one of my major goals this year. That's one thing I got to do. There's too many tools that you can use, analytics, that will help us do our jobs. Improving those metrics, like I said, I use this as kind of a baseline to start where we're at with rentals and permits. So we're going to see code enforcement, we're going to see how we can improve some of those things and what initiatives we can do, which is cool. And then rentals, obviously, small sample size. You see we're at 100. We actually started Sycamore Creek today. Next year, we might have 1,500. So we're going to have a lot coming on our plate with rentals and making sure that we're increasing that field efficiency.
Thank you for the report. I think you did a really good job, like kind of knocked it out of the park in terms of being able to really give a snapshot of all that's included. But I want to reference the rentals. This board and over the last couple of years worked hard to get to a point where we had a new rental ordinance in place. And what I love after speaking with you and your department, but also seeing in the report, that most of the enforcements have been safety geared. And we're actually seeing a lot of people are very happy that you guys are out there helping people who might not be in a safe environment to ensure that it's safe, and but doing it with class and with the goal of getting people to do the right thing, not with the goal of ticketing. So thank you to you and your team for that approach, and I think you're going to make a huge impact next year as you really get into the big numbers on rentals. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Flood?
Yeah, I want to congratulate Dave on this. Him and I talked about this today, and he put it off me a nice, just like Ashley does her budget. Beautiful. Appreciate that. But I was going to say the same thing in Matt. Being proactive with that rental ordinance, safety's number one. Health, safety, and welfare of our public. And then I invite the public, anyone in the public, to look at this excellent presentation. This is on our website. It explains everything in our building department does. And job well done.
Thank you.
Great.
I got something.
Go ahead, Mr. Lovett.
So I'm fortunate enough to share an office with Mike Flood in the building department. So, so it is really impressive what you guys do. The amount of the call volume, interacting with so many people on a yearly basis. And sometimes I sit in there just kind of in awe because it sounds like you're running a customer service department. And that's pretty hard to find in local government. So I just want to congratulate you on that and just tell you to keep that up because it's noticed. And all the guys, I'm in the construction industry, all the guys that I talk to are like, we love working with Orion Township on these projects because it is a true partnership. So kudos. Yep.
All right. Any other comments or a motion to receive and file the building department report?
I'll make a motion to receive and file.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Last but not least is our financial statements. Is there a motion?
Move to receive and file the financial statements and manual journal entry reports.
Moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that completes our regular business. Bring it back to the public, if anyone from the public would like to address the board. Seeing no one, we will bring it up here to the board tonight. We will start with Mr. Carson tonight.
Being that this is our last meeting of the year, I guess I'd just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, be safe, and enjoy your holiday.
All right, thank you. Carrie?
The exact same thing. Just, yeah, enjoy the upcoming holidays, whatever you celebrate. Party responsibly, have a safe and happy new year, and see you back here in 2026.
All right. Julia?
Happy holidays to all, and I also want to just go back and say thank you again to all of the people who are on all of our boards and our committees that really make the work get done here in the township and help represent all of the residents. So again, thank you to everyone who participates in those.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
All that, and welcome to Mr. Jones, to the team. Tammy, well-deserved acknowledgement tonight. Congratulations to you and your team, and everybody in this building. So freaking happy to work with the people in this building. We have such a great team, and none of this happens without them out there 7 days a week doing what they do. So thank you to our team. And had another awesome event by our Parks and Rec team over the weekend with Santa and the Grinch. And I heard Santa was so-so, but the Grinch is quite an entertainer. And it was really cool to see our community center in action. People are working out, and there's just families coming in one after another, making projects, making cookies, talking to Santa and to I was going to say Elmo, the Grinch. So super cool, and it's exactly what a community center should be. So awesome team that puts on amazing events. I'm so thankful for them. And in January, I will have the treasurer, the 2025 full treasurer report, which we haven't done that because I haven't been, but we're going to have a full report for all of you in January, which I'll look forward to going over the year in review for 2025. And lastly, we've got some good friends of Orion Township that are dealing with some tough stuff. And tomorrow's a very, very big day for our good friend, Mr. Lee Smith, and his beautiful bride and our friend Kim Urbanowski. And so they are having dinner with their family tonight, and tomorrow they're facing one of the big things that unfortunately some of us have to face in life. And I would just ask that everybody please keep them in your thoughts and prayers as they go through this very, very challenging process. And they are Lake Orion through and through. They do so much in this community, and they're just such good people. And if you've met them, you know. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers this evening. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Have a great rest of the year.
Mike?
Hey, I want to tell Lee and Kim and their family that they'll be in my prayers. Appreciate that, man. Great people, great people. On behalf of my wife, Lillian, and myself, we wish to express our sincere gratitude and deepest appreciation to the Orion Area Parade Group for asking me to serve as the 2025 Lighted Parade Grand Marshal. We also want to thank all the volunteers and the Gowling dealership family for their hard work and efforts for putting on the best and largest lighted parade in Michigan. Without their contribution, the parade.
World.
We say the
Oh, the world, oh, pardon me, the world.
Prove us wrong.
Oh, you got the picture? I didn't
Of
know
course
you
I have the
did that.
picture.
Because without their contribution, the parade couldn't exist. That's a known fact. And the wife and I, it was heartwarming to see all the families, especially the children, who attended the parade and excited and full of the Christmas spirit. It was just very heartwarming. And our beloved hometown, Lake Orion Village, was exquisitely on display with all the Christmas lights and decorations on all the homes and all the businesses. And on behalf of my wife and myself, we want to wish all Orion residents a Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy New Year. That's it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Lovett.
I'd like to echo the same regards to Lee and Kim. I've been able to have the pleasure of working with Lee on the Orion Veterans Memorial Board, and he's been very upbeat in a pretty tough situation, which is very honorable. So thoughts and prayers for sure for them and their family. I'd like to congratulate Lieutenant Z now. He was always a stand-up guy, you know, a good handshake and a smile, and I know he was well respected by his peers. And then Tammy, I know you're bashful to compliments, but it is awesome having you guide our boards. And I always joke with you that you're a pit bull of planning, because you can be friendly, but you're very detail oriented and you'll get to the bottom of anything, which we appreciate. So other than that, Merry Christmas and have a safe Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yes. Echo everything everyone said. Yeah, it's our last meeting of the year, and I know the room's not full of people, but I want to express my gratitude to the people that are here and the people that aren't here, but we are so blessed that to have people so dedicated, and we don't always agree, but we work really hard for solutions that are for the most of us. And I will tell you this, I'll have some coarse comments in a minute, but the people up here and the people that we just appointed to serve on our boards and commissions and the directors that are all here tonight haven't forgotten what their job is. And what is their job? Let me show you what their job is. This is on our wall, on our staff entrance, and it was on, we didn't even practice this, Dave, but we showed this to the staff last week or 2 weeks ago when we had our all-staff meeting in this room. But this is why we exist, to exceed our residents' expectations and provide the best service in local government. We want to give the white glove treatment. And I say it all the time, David did a good job summarizing. We don't really have competition. If you live in this community, you have to deal with us. You have to register with her team to vote. You have to pay your taxes to his team. If you want to build something, you got to go to his counter and hers first. You want to sign your kids up for sports, you're going to Aaron's counter. And if you want water, you got to go see Bill. And unfortunately, often in government, we treat people that way. Think of the Secretary of State. Who loves going there? Raise your hand all at once. And no one's hand raised. Unfortunately, local government is not far behind in treating people that way. But the team that's here tonight that we're talking about does this stuff every day. And I'm so privileged to be able to lead on the day-to-day basis, but be part of this amazing collaborative board. So thank you sincerely. It's a time of reflection this time of year, and we set our priorities for 26, and we're doing awesome things still. So thank you to every single person here, elected and not. You don't get enough credit, and you certainly hear about it when we're not doing awesome or perceived to not be doing awesome, but I want to thank you for that. And on Thursday, we had a meeting with all of our committees and commissions in that room next door, and I think literally we had 1 or 2 people missing that we knew about, but we had nearly perfect attendance, which is remarkable. Great collaborative discussion on how we continue to be on mission together. And then the cool thing about that is we've had 3 different people that are maybe normally a little quieter that have reached out to me that have ideas to how we can keep doing the things we're doing. So other couple more thanks to the Gowling family, as was mentioned, but another great event. I had a picture with a bunch of the staff with Santa, but no one would send it to me, so you got a picture of me. And then, little known fact, yes, Mr. Flood was the Grand Marshal, but every year for the last probably close to 10, he's been volunteering at the back end. This year, the treasurer, the clerk, and myself, with 3 other people, 1 village council member, but usually 4 township board members behind the scenes, lining up the parade from 3 o'clock basically till 8 o'clock. You don't see us walking in the parade, and I'm saying this for the other folks. You see, they make the parade awesome. The youth council was there. Our judges were there. Matt used to wear that Elmo suit before he was elected. Now he's graduated to the neon vest. But thanks to everybody for their, and then one more group I want to thank, our public safety folks. Police and fire did their combined Shop with a Hero event last week, Thursday, I believe, no, Wednesday. Great success. And then this Saturday, this is in Keatington, this is an honored tradition that we continue, and we're even using the old fire truck too. Yellow. How many of those do we have left? 3. But they go through, Santa comes, and residents make donations, and it's a lot of firefighters, their families, a little video. You get to meet Santa, take donations. And then there's that Shop with a Hero event that was mentioned, that I mentioned. But we are really blessed. we have people that step up and go above and beyond the call of duty. And the chief, I didn't get a chance to add your slide, but he wasn't at Keatington doing the Santa Walk because he was the conductor on the Polar Express, volunteering with the DDA, reading the Polar Express story to little folks all day Saturday. One more cool piece of information, Heritage Park was selected to be, through M-Parks, the Landscape Design Award winner. We agree, look how beautiful that is, so cool. And then we always share a couple upcoming events. Get your puzzles swapped so when you're home over the break, you can have new puzzles. Yeah, I meant to show this when it was up, but this was a remarkable story when that baby was found, and we had the helicopter and everybody looking, and just reminder of, agree with what Jack said about the professionalism of Sergeant Z. And then last, I don't want to end on, I'm going to end on a positive note, but I just want to end on, I want to share something before I end. We're really having a problem with Oakland County leadership. And this is a serious part of the conversation, and I don't know if anybody's watching, but maybe this will be played back, and I hope it is played back. I hope it's played back by the people that are elected to lead us at the county, because they are not doing their jobs. They're not doing their jobs. And we have been marginalized. We have not had a seat at the table. We have 5 times in the last year been taken advantage of by contracts that directly affect our residents and our budgets. First, police dispatch. Second, police services contract. And this is not a dig on the sheriff's office. We were aligned with the sheriff's union and the 12 communities that fought against the county, against their egregious price increase 1 year ago today. While we were adopting our budget, we had 15 days' notice to absorb over 3 years a 36% increase. Luckily for Orion, our fund was in good shape, and so we didn't have to lay off police. It's not the same for the other 11 communities. Then it was assessing. They did the same thing to us with less than 60 days' notice. And then it was water resources services, and luckily we have a great water team that we don't rely on them for that, but any other township or city that does got gouged again with no notice. And now it's, then it was transit last month, where I was speaking in front of the Board of Commissioners, and they're making changes they're trying to make changes to the way the transit millage dollars get distributed without talking to the people that are that are providing those services. In our case, that's NODA. And then just last week, it's amending the way that TIFAs are collected, Tax Increment Finance Authority, so that's your CEIAs or DDAs. The bottom line is, we have lost our voice. The county commission doesn't represent us, and I had lunch with 15 supervisors today in Oakland County, and everyone feels the same way, and guess what? So do a lot of the cities too. So if anybody ever watches this back, please invite us to a meeting. When you're talking about services that, come to our podium, come to a meeting, you represent us. I think they forgot that they represent the cities, villages, and townships, 62 of them that make up our county. But I will continue to lead that fight, and you never know, you might see me on the media taking the message to someone that will listen, and maybe we'll get a seat at the table. So this board, the people in this room haven't forgotten what their priority is, providing the best service in government. Unfortunately, when you go up the chain, that seems to be forgotten. Don't want to end on a bad note. Thank you to everyone that's made this, I think, our best year yet. We've done some legacy things. Rec Center, Heritage Park, we're building another park, parks, and more to come next year. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been a wild ride. I'm grateful for the support that you all give me and everybody that's watching this meeting. With that long-winded diatribe,
Merry
we're
Christmas.
still at 8:30, guys. Entertain a motion. Remember when these meetings used to go till
yes.
11, midnight? All right, entertain a motion to
I'd like to
adjourn.
make a motion to adjourn.
Moved by Pfeiffer, supported by Hilgendorf. All in favor? Aye. Merry Christmas, aye. 8:29, we are adjourned.